Hey guys, welcome to the Real Estate Investing Mastery Podcast. I'm coming at you right now from the Bahamas. And I wanted to do a podcast here. And this is really important because this week, my good friend Aiden is promoting a really incredible program that I'm excited about sharing with you guys. And this is really, really important. And let me give you a quick introduction. About once a year, guys, I do this where I talk about multiple streams of income and I talk about other ways to make money outside of real estate investing. Why? Because I believe in real estate investing, but I also have other businesses where I make other money from, okay? And I really believe it's important to have multiple streams of income coming in because when one is working, the other one may not be. And when real estate's not working, maybe something else can carry you through, carry you along. But also, this is it. I use extra money I make from other businesses that I have to fund my real estate deals, whether I'm buying a deal or I'm lending money on a deal, and to pay for my marketing. And so I wanted to get Aiden on to talk about this incredible opportunity. And here's the thing, I'm here in the Bahamas. I'm meeting a lot of people that are very, very wealthy, doing very well for themselves. You know what? Guess what? Not everybody makes their millions in real estate. A lot of people I meet here in places like this when we travel around the world, they make money from internet marketing, from e-commerce, from software, from technology, from all kinds of things, right? And in fact, it's very rare to meet somebody that makes money from just one thing. Like people out here make money from a lot of different strategies. I'm in a lot of different masterminds with people that make money from real estate, make money from internet marketing and e-commerce and things like that. So I wanted to share this with you. And this is an important topic. And this is something I'm going to be doing with my girls. I have 4 kids. And we do a lot of, with my 2 boys, I've talked about this a lot. We've done a lot of land deals with my boys. And that's going really well. They are in college and doing stuff like that. Now my girls are getting older, and my girls are 15 and 12, almost 16 and 13. Oh boy, I appreciate your prayers. But as they're getting older, I've been thinking about what are some other things that maybe I could do with them. They might be interested in real estate. They might not. One of my boys has 0 interest in real estate right now. He's doing his thing. He was going to college to be a chiropractor, and then the other boy wants to go to trade school. So neither of them really have much interest in real estate. I have a feeling they'll come back. But here's the thing. My girls have interest in this, the things that we're going to be talking about with Aiden. And so I'm going to be doing this journey along with you guys. And that's why I wanted to get Aiden on this podcast. And that's why I'm doing this podcast while I'm on vacation, because this was the only day he could do it. I fly back in a couple of days. So I said, hey, let's just do it. I told my wife, go get a facial. Don't ask me how much that's going to cost, but so anyway, we're good. And I got Aidan in the house, Aidan Booth. Aiden, tell us a little bit about you. And we were talking before we recorded, you have some real estate experience. You also, though, have made your millions of dollars doing something else. Would you talk about your background a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm from New Zealand originally. I have lived in Argentina. My wife's from Argentina for about 20 years now. And I've got 2 kids, a 7-year-old and a 5-year-old, so a little bit younger than yours. And I've always been interested in passive income. It got started for me when I read Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad book. I read that in around about the year, I want to say 2002, 2003. And that set off a few light bulbs in my mind. And I was like, oh, passive income, property, this is what I'm going to do. And then I read every property book under the sun. And since then, I've built quite a portfolio of properties. I've got property in New Zealand. I've got some property in the States, up in New York, in Argentina. And my whole idea about that is, leaving a legacy for the kids, passive income. But the way I've been able to build a lot of properties so quickly is by using income that I've got coming in from an e-commerce business, which is also passive income for the most part as well. So it's just different types of it. So I'm really passionate about that, and also about helping other people. I've done a bit of coaching in the e-commerce space for a few years now, and I really enjoy it. So awesome. The passive income is what really gets me fired up, though.
I forgot to mention this. My marketing director has a 15-year-old son, and he's doing this with him right now, your program. And
right.
He just had really nice things to say. He said that you guys are amazing. The support is incredible. I think he just got started a few weeks ago.
He did.
Yeah, he's got two monitors up. The kid does. He's 15 years old. And he has one monitor where he watches your videos, and the next other monitor is where he just does whatever you tell him to do,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool.
I mean, sometimes, Joe, when I think back and thinking about my own kids, I think, man, I got started relatively early, but I wasn't 15 years old. I must have been like 23 or something, 24 or something. But kids these days, if they get the opportunity to be exposed to something like property investment or any online passive income opportunity at such a young age, it's such a huge advantage. So, yeah.
So, okay, you got started in e-commerce, 2005.
Yep.
That's a long time ago. What has happened since then? What does your business look like today?
So when I got started, I was selling SD cards. These are these little memory cards that slot into cameras, and I made some money. And I sort of realized, this is going okay, but it sort of planted a seed that it could be bigger. And I sort of went down that rabbit hole a little bit. And fast forward today, what are we, about 18 years later, and I've built quite a sizable e-commerce business. We've got physical products to sell online, offline. We're actually in about 20,000 stores offline in the United States with one of our brands now, and then we also do a large volume online in a whole range of different. Like our own website, we sell through a lot of different channels: Google, Amazon, Microsoft, and so on and so forth. So the business has changed a lot. It's certainly, I think, a lot easier for people to get started nowadays with the technology. And when I was getting started, Amazon didn't exist as a way that we could sell on. So there's been a lot of advancements that I think have made it easier for folks who get started today, and just with the international logistics and so on and so forth, it's advanced a lot.
So a lot has changed over the years, and what are you seeing right now in terms of, has it gotten easier for people to make money online? Has it gotten harder? Where are you seeing this? Obviously, Amazon has come since you got started, but what's it like right now?
I think it's definitely different to when I got started. I mean, again, I got started 18 years ago, but today there are ways that you can get started without needing to worry about, it's specifically speaking about e-commerce, without needing to worry about paying for advertising, without needing to worry about touching any inventory, right down to the point where you can decide on saying, hey, I'm going to put $100 or a couple of $100 to buy some inventory, again, without needing to touch it or anything like that. And we can get into the how a little bit later. And then have that inventory sold in marketplaces that have got massive demand without needing to do any paid ads or marketing or anything. So a lot of the headaches that I've had over the years have been around massive capital required for inventory, like paying thousands and thousands of dollars for inventory. We don't have to do that anymore. Running ads, which can get expensive and be very competitive, we don't have to do that anymore. Having inventory pile up in my garage or my home, don't have to do that anymore. And many of the other headaches as well have been able to be sort of eliminated through advances in technology and other services and systems. So I think it's probably the best time that I've seen to get started. I mean, and you look at the trends of people who are purchasing products. Amazon is about to become $1 trillion company, and that's just one of them. Walmart is exploding. Walmart online, and this is a bandwagon that we can sort of jump on and piggyback on that momentum of. And for me, it all comes back to making a profit there and then funneling into my investments over there. So I think it's quite synergistic with everything that I'm doing anyway.
What's interesting is I hear you call this a wholesale business or an Amazon wholesale business. And that's exactly what we do as real estate investors. Because a lot of people think in their mind, oh, Amazon or e-commerce, I'm going to have to put a bunch of boxes in my garage, or I'm going to have to buy a bunch of inventory, which costs a lot of money, and I don't get that back until I sell it later on. But and this is interesting because in houses, we wholesale houses, right? Which those of my listeners, guys, we're not buying the house with our own money and then selling it later at a higher price. We're just wholesaling. It means we're just in the middle, right? We're a middleman. Is that kind of what you're doing, Aiden, as well, then
Yeah.
in your e-commerce business?
Yeah, essentially it is really, and that's one of the reasons why we don't have to put up a lot of money for inventory, because I could buy, I could buy, let's say, an American football, and it might cost me $10 to buy that wholesale, and I can sell it retail through something like Amazon. I don't even need a website of my own. I could just sell it on Amazon for $20. They'll take out a few fees and so on and so forth, but then I can pocket the difference. So maybe I'll buy 10 of those footballs to start with, and that'll be a financial outlay of $100. But I can sell those 10 for 200. And the more times I do that, the more I can, scale the system, and I can start tapping into this almost compounding effect, because I'm reinvesting the profits, and it can grow pretty quickly. If it would be useful, I can sort of explain the steps that we've traditionally gone through to sort of set this kind of model up, and then explain how we're doing it today.
Yeah. That's so good. And let me add something too here that I think is I'm trying to connect the dots with my listeners who have real estate investing, and then this e-commerce thing might be new, but it's like in real estate, we also can go in to find where the hot zip codes are, right? Where is all the activity, where the investors are buying houses or vacant land? Where is the money flowing into? And you can do the same thing, right, Aiden, in e-commerce or on Amazon or on Walmart. You can go find the
Exactly.
hot items, right? And then and that's pretty easy to do because you have software that does that. And
Yes.
then you just find getting those things cheaper somewhere else, and then wholesaling it at a higher price. It's pretty
Yeah.
simple and very similar.
It's very streamlined, and at the end of the day, you're dealing with physical assets. So whether you're buying land or a property of some kind or a product of some
Yeah.
kind, it's just a physical asset. So that hasn't really changed. So there are 7 steps that we've traditionally sort of gone through to start a business like this, and we don't have to do all 7 steps anymore, thanks to a few reasons I'll share later. But if I walk through those, initially we might look for finding a supplier. So let's say you want to sell drink bottles, and I've got a little blue drink bottle here if you're watching the video. You might want to sell drink bottles. So you'll go to Google and you'll search for drink bottle wholesale suppliers, and you might find some. And at that point, traditionally, what people would do is they'd pick up the phone and they'd call the wholesaler and they'd say, "Hey, can I get your catalog of products? I'm interested in selling these," and so on and so forth. And that was always a bit of a headache. Personally, I never enjoyed doing that. But you would do it, and you would get a catalog from the wholesaler, and you would identify the opportunities. And a catalog from the wholesaler might be a little bit like a real estate magazine, where you can see all the different listings of different things. So you're looking through this magazine or this catalog, and you're trying to identify which are the best opportunities. We do the exact same thing with physical products. And I might say, I've got this blue drink bottle. It's an opportunity. I can buy it at $1, and I can sell it at $4. Let's say. What I can then do is I can say, okay, I'm going to set up this to be sold on Amazon. That way I don't need a website of my own or anything like that. I log into Amazon. This is something that is free to do. Amazon has designed it so that the everyday person can go in and do it. You don't need any special business registration. There's nothing special that you need there. You simply log in, and you'll see that on Amazon, someone else is selling the same product. That's the whole idea. And you can say, hey, this person, Joe, is selling these blue drink bottles. They're exactly the same as the drink bottles that I've got. So I'm going to sell on his listing. And that means that there's now 2 people selling that drink bottle. You may have even seen this if you buy on Amazon, where multiple people can sell the exact same product. That's how it's designed to work. So we add our product to the listing. Once we've done that, we then go and purchase the product from the wholesaler. So this is where we would say, hey, wholesaler, I want to buy 10 of those blue drink bottles, or 20, whatever it might be. They would ship them to you. You'd get them at your house, in your garage. And again, we don't do this anymore, but this is how I got started. Send them to the garage, your house. You'd open the package up, put the special Amazon stickers on them, and then send them back to Amazon. And then once Amazon got them, they would be live and you could make money. So that's the traditional way that we've done it. But what we've been able to do over the past 12 months is eliminate everything from the moment you choose a product to the moment it turns up in your Amazon account. So now what people can do is they can look in a pre-made catalog of vetted products where every single product in that catalog is something that is already currently selling well on Amazon, has high demand on Amazon, and could make you at least, a few hundred or a few $1,000s in profit per month, to give you an idea. And if that blue drink bottle is in that catalog, which is an online web page, you can click on it and you can say, I want to sell that one. You fund the order with what it's going to cost to buy the product at wholesale, which might be, it could be $50 or it could be $500, depending on what you want, how many products you want to buy, and so on and so forth. From that moment that you fund the product, it gets I've got a team who will see that you funded the product. They'll pick up the phone, they'll call the supplier, they'll say, hey, I need to buy 20 of these drink bottles and send them to me. And they will get sent then to a warehouse facility that I've got in Texas. It's a 40,000 square foot facility that processes a lot of inventory in my own business. We then do all the packaging, put the stickers on, send it into Amazon, and then like magic, it pops up in your Amazon account and the sales can start coming through. So basically all of those middle steps have been cut out to the point where you can log into a database, you choose which product you want to sell, which has already been pre-vetted, pre-analyzed, sanity checked and everything to make sure it's a winner. Press a couple of buttons, fund your inventory, and then it will appear in your Amazon account a week or two later, and you'll be able to start selling it. So hopefully I didn't lose people in that. I'm trying to paint a verbal picture here a little bit, Joe.
So you gave me 7 steps typically that happens when somebody traditionally goes through an Amazon wholesaling business or Walmart or whatever it is, right? It's number 1, you find a supplier. Number 2, you identify good opportunities. Number 3, you pinpoint the winners. 4, you set up the listing, the description and the pictures and all that. You ship the products out, you kickstart sales, and then you scale once you find some winners, right?
Yes, that's right. That's okay. Right. In a nutshell, you don't actually have to set up a new listing on Amazon, for example, because there's already one there where we're selling products that are already selling. So we just say, hey, this guy's selling blue drink bottles. I've also got a blue drink bottle. I'm going to use that listing. So you don't have to worry about photos or setting that up. But you do have to sort of tell Amazon, hey, I've got one of those that I want to sell. So
you have this catalog that has these good items already. One of the first things I thought of was like, well, how big is that catalog? Because if you're teaching people how to do this, is there going to be too much competition for that catalog?
Yeah, so the products that end up in that catalog come from millions and millions and millions of products that we have analyzed. And ultimately in that catalog, as of right now, there's in the vicinity of upwards of 4,000 products. Now, 4,000 products might not seem like a lot, of maybe it does. The thing about these products is every single one of these products is something that ticks all the boxes that we look for. And every single one of those products could be something that makes, $1,000 profit a month, $2,000 profit a month. Maybe some products make $200 profit a month, but they are all products that meet the criteria. And the benefit of being able to tap into that catalog is my company over the past 12 months has invested a huge amount of time in going and making contracts with lots and lots of different wholesale suppliers so that you don't have to, essentially, and you can just come in, tap into that and hit the ground running. And then obviously we also can share with people how they can go out there and do a lot of this on their own if they don't want to just use that catalog, although I think that catalog is a pretty good way to get started.
Well, that sounds fascinating. So you're taking a lot of the guesswork out of this, right? And you're taking out the work of trying to contacting these wholesalers or these suppliers in China or something. I remember people talking about Amazon e-commerce businesses a few years ago, talking about how, hey, you can come to China with us and we'll meet you. We'll introduce you to our suppliers. And for me, I was thinking, that's the last thing in the world I want to do. I don't want to go to China. I don't want to talk to I don't want to talk to anybody who speaks Chinese and I feel like I'm going to get scammed or ripped off when they trying to
I went
buy
there
stuff.
once ago, and there was enough of that experience for me. And interestingly enough, all of our suppliers and wholesalers are based in the USA, so we don't even deal with have to deal with China at all. I mean, all of the products that we're talking about, these are through big distributors and wholesalers. Some of the biggest distributors and wholesalers in the United States that we've been able to get contracts with. And this is the other subtle difference about what a lot of people, what comes to mind for a lot of people when they think about e-commerce. They think, oh, I've got to deal with China and create my own product and put my own brand on it. We're doing almost the exact opposite. We're never creating our own product here. It's something you can do in the future if you want to. We're not dealing with China at all. And it just means that you can order in very small quantity. You can cycle through products quickly. It lends itself so much more to being a business that throws off profit, passive income, than the other types of e-commerce that exist, like, for example, dealing with China, which is oftentimes like creating a job for yourself.
Yeah, not interested in that. So I got a couple more questions for you, because we're going to be talking about a workshop that you guys are doing with us in a few days from now, and there's also going to be some resources. I'm going to give you guys a link. In fact, I got a couple more questions for you, but I just want to give you guys right now this link: joemccall.com/eFormula. joemccall.com/eFormula. That will either when you go there, it'll redirect you either to a website or some free books and bonuses that Aiden has put together. But write that down right now: joemccall.com/eFormula. All right. One of the things I wanted to ask you was, when I'm doing marketing for houses, for real estate deals, right? I don't do spray and pray marketing where I'm sending out, marketing to 20 different counties, 20 different cities. I'm very, very focused on a few counties and a few zip codes and in a few areas where I know there's a lot of demand. So is this similar in the e-commerce space where you're not just putting, and the other thing I do, by the way, is I don't just put all of my hyper focus on one zip code. I go after 3 or 4 or 5 zip codes or 1 or 2 different counties, right? So my question is this, Aiden: when you're looking at testing products to see which converts, are you going after? Are you trying like just one product, or are you doing 5 or 10 different products, 100 different products to see which ones might be better? Does that make sense?
Yeah, so this is very focused in what we're doing. And the analogy that I'd give is, some people approach e-commerce with a chainsaw, where they go out there and they just throw everything up. This is more like approaching it with a scalpel, where it's very, very precise. And we're only ever selling products that we already know have sales volume, because I can go to Amazon, I can use different tools, and I can say, look, this blue drink bottle is currently getting, let's say, 10,000 sales in a month. And there are currently 3 different sellers selling it. If there are currently 3 people selling this blue drink bottle, then the 10,000 sales per month is going to be divvied up between the 3 of them, because Amazon sort of rotates through the different sellers. So each of the sellers would be getting 3,333 sales a month. If I come on as a 4th seller, then that 10,000 sales volume doesn't change, but it does now get divvied up between 4 different sellers. So each of us would get 2,500. So when we come into this, we don't even need to throw something up to see if it sells. We already know that there's sales demand on Amazon. We already know what the Amazon sale price is. We know what we can buy the product for at wholesale price. And we know how many sellers are. We can basically back ourselves in to knowing from the get-go, before we even start, how much profit, ballpark figure, we're going to be able to make from a product. So we don't need to do the testing that we've done in the past. And that's one of the things that removes a lot of the guesswork and gives you something really concrete to work towards. So the analogy there is, I think about this as approaching e-commerce with a scalpel, being very, very precise about what we're doing and not having to throw 1,000 things out there and just sort of see what works.
Okay, yeah, that's awesome. But you're not just like doing one product at a time. Are you doing?
You can do
2 or
multiple
3 or
products.
5?
You can do, each product is going to be like a mini income stream. So you could have one drink bottle that could be like a mini income stream that gives you a couple of $1,000s a month maybe. And then you'll add something else in. It might be like a gardening tool. It doesn't have to. It could be completely unrelated. A gardening tool, maybe that'll give you $700 profit a month. Then you add something else in. Maybe it's like a sunglasses case, and that might give you another couple of $1,000 profit per month. So you know what the expected profit margins are going to be for each product, and you can sort of gauge that. But yeah, ultimately, the idea is that you have multiple products. You don't need dozens and dozens, because some of these products can earn you a lot of money potentially. The idea there is definitely that you have multiple products listed in your Amazon account. Each one of them is like a mini income stream for you. Doesn't even have to be mini. I've got products up there, for example, that earn me more in a month. A simple little product like a plastic drink bottle, and they earn me more passive income in a month than I get in one of my rental properties. So when you sort of compare things like that, it's quite cool. And especially when I think that, the money that I'm making from that drink bottle can go back into my other investments, that makes it even cooler.
That's so funny, because I was just snorkeling yesterday with a guy and his wife, I think, or girlfriend, from the Ukraine. And he's been living in the United States for a long time, but he sells IT technology services to the government, right? And he's a part of a company with about 20 different employees. They all work from home. They're all kind of entrepreneurial, but there are so many businesses out there that make just as much money, if not a lot more, outside of the real estate investing space. And this is why I'm so excited about this opportunity for you guys. And this isn't something that's going to replace your real estate business. This is something I want you guys to think about in terms of supplementing your real estate business. Because what if, guys, you just found one or two products from Aiden and you promote that and it gives you $500 or $1,000 a month in profit? You can turn that into marketing for your real estate deals, your vacant land listings deals, or your wholesale house deals, or whatever. And you could then have a self-sufficient, liquidating business that from an outside source can pay for all your marketing. And you may find that you don't like real estate at all, and you just want to do this Amazon e-commerce stuff, period. Okay, I got one final question for you, Aiden, and then we'll wrap this up. I want to be doing this with my daughters. They're 12 and they're 15 years old. If my boys are interested, we'll see. So what are some advice that you'd give to me and some of people watching this who want some kind of business that they can create with their kids or their grandparents or grandchildren, nieces, nephews, things like that?
I think the beauty about this is you can get started with very, very little overhead. So, for example, you could buy a small amount of inventory, which might cost $100, and then you turn that around into something that gives you $300 back without needing to do all the heavy lifting of receiving the products, all the logistics behind the scenes, or even picking up the phone and calling suppliers, any of that. So I would say if you just follow the steps of the system, use this amazing catalog that we've put together. We've spent over $500,000 and 12 months and going through millions and millions and millions of products to identify these, which are genuine winners. That is by far the path of least resistance there, and get a couple of products up. So if you get a couple of products up, one of them is probably going to start selling straight out of the gate. The other one might be a few days after that potentially, but you'll see it working firsthand. And when you see it working firsthand, all of the complexity that you may sort of be imagining evaporates. It's the simplest way that I've seen. So I would say just follow through my videos and coaching that I can give, and you'll see some results.
Awesome. I love that. Again, guys, joemccall.com/eFormula. You see that link right there, joemccall.com/eFormula. And hope you guys can follow along with me on this journey. If you decide to work with me and Aiden on this, I'm going to be updating you regularly on how things are going, which is going to be really cool. But if you go to joemccall.com/eFormula, you're also going to be seeing either an invitation to a webinar that we're going to be doing, or an ebook, or he's got some really good, infographics that we're going to be giving out, kind of diagrams that explain the whole process and how it works and why this is such an incredible opportunity. I know it's really early in the morning there, Aiden. I appreciate you coming here. It's funny, you're in New Zealand, I'm in the Bahamas. about as
Yeah,
far
right.
opposite of the world as we could be, right?
Yeah. It's
So
incredible, isn't it?
yeah, I'm looking forward to working with you on this, Aiden. Thank you so much for being on my podcast. I really appreciate you.
Likewise, man, and thanks for having me here. And I can't wait to see what your daughters are able to do there. And obviously, we're going to be there helping every step of the way. And to everyone listening to this, make sure you get over to that link that Joe mentioned there and pick up a few goodies. We've got example products, case studies of the kind of products we're selling, and much more. So it's worth going over to have a look and see what all the good info is about.
All right, those of you that don't write these links down and you wait till we repeat it the 20th time before you do, joemccall.com/eFormula, joemccall.com/eFormula. That's the letter E for electronic. Yeah,
That works.
I guess.
That works.
Entrepreneur.
I was thinking elephant, but electronic works.
Elephant, entrepreneur, electronic. Okay, thank you, Aiden. We'll see you guys later, everybody. Take care. Have a good one. Bye-bye.